students, here your sample paper for the session 2025-2026 was released in the starting of the year. You might have seen the paper, you have went through all the questions, you might have solved the MCQs too and decided that you are going to write the complete sample paper once you complete your syllabus, and I am pretty sure that you have not done it yet. So just a quick answer in the comment section, have you solved your sample paper, and if not, then we are going to do this by today in this video. Welcome all my class 10 students on the platform Deeksha, Vedantu. This is your SST faculty Tanvi Ma'am, and today we are going to answer all the questions in your brain that are running constantly. That ma'am, is the sample paper very important? Do we need to sit and solve the whole sample paper? Is the final paper that we are going to get in board exam will be similar to such that, and is it the blueprint for your SST exam for the academic year 2025-2026? So hold on students, fasten your seat belts, because today's video is definitely going to be a changing point in your board exam preparation. So my dear students, if you have not seen the sample paper yet, here is a look to the sample paper. Pay attention how your sample paper looks like, right? With the code of 087, this is basically your subject code, and you can get the same PDF from the website of CBSE. When you will open the website of CBSE, you will get a section that's academic website, and there in the above links you have sample paper question. Okay, you even have the question paper and the answers for it too. But however, I know that after getting the marking scheme too, you might be wondering how to write perfect answers so that none of our marks will be deducted. So this video is particularly for that. Okay, this is your sample paper, social science sample paper. The time allotted to you will be 3 hours. You might be thinking, ma'am, we know that, and that is the pressure on our mind. And the maximum marks will be 80, because 20 marks you will get according to the way you behaved in your school throughout the year, and I hope you have done it right. Okay, so the general instruction, we will read the general instructions and then directly move to the solving, because this will be a long time process. Just take your pen, your pencil, your book, or whatever, whenever you want to write, take it out, and main important thing, keep your mind in the books in this video, okay, and do not let it wander here and there. So there are 38 questions in the total question paper. All are compulsory. There will be no here 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 marker MCQ, map work, all in one section. Okay, then we have section B for geography, section C for political science, and section D for economics. There is no bigger change. What is changed is, earlier the section was on the basis of marks, and now the sections are on the basis of books. That's it. Okay, so don't take tension, whoever is making you create this tension, and don't worry. Each section is of 20 marks and has MCQs, very short. Okay, this you know. Pay attention, what I am giving you right now is very important, that very short carries 2 marks. You might be thinking, ma'am, we know what is new in that, but whenever you are writing a 2-marker question, focus on its word limit, because we need not to exceed it, or we need not to write something which is less than that, this word limit, okay, and it is 40 words. Do not exceed your answer for 2 marks for more than 40 words. Then we have 3-marker question with 60 words, 5-marker with 120 work, and very important thing, what? The case-based question. We always take it lightly. Oh, that nothing to do. Read the extract and write the answers. But do you know, in the instruction itself, that word limit is given for case-based question too, and that is 100 words. And if you were not aware about this, keep this in mind. Okay? There is no overall choice, the external choice I was asking about, but the internal choices are there. And to the students who are visually impaired, the candidates who are visually impaired, whenever there is a picture-based question, an option is provided for them. Okay, so this is how your question paper for 2025-2026 is going to look. So see this, feel it, because we are going to solve the whole paper in one go, right? Okay, Starting with the first question of the day, and these questions are from the sample paper itself. So don't think that there are some 10 different questions. I just prepared a PPT so that it will be easy for us to make it understandable for you. Okay. So question number 1, match the following and choose the correct answer. What you need to pay attention is, this is section A, history, carrying how many marks? 20 marks. Okay. Question number 1, which is a MCQ based question carrying 1 mark. How to solve this question? Let us pay attention while I am solving the question. See how I speak, how I talk to myself while answering the question, because this habit really works, and this is how toppers look like I am looking right now. Okay. So here is column 1 and column 2. Column 1 says Frederick Sorrow. Okay, if you know about Frederick Sorrow, like I know about Frederick Sorrow, so what I'll do, I'll see in the column 2 if anything related to Frederick Sorrow is written here. Okay, Torch of Enlightenment, yeah, it can be, because in that picture prepared by Frederick Sorrow, that Statue of Liberty was carrying Torch of Light. It can be. Okay, I'm just keeping this as an option, marking like this. Shattered remains of absolute institution. Okay, this is also from the same picture. Democratic and social republic. Okay, this is also from the same picture. But the fourth option is Frederick Sorrow, a French artist, and hence it is clear that for A it will be fourth. So I'm writing it sidewise so that at the end I can match whether my answer is matching with this or not. Statue of Liberty. Okay, we have something like Torch of Enlightenment here. So the B goes with 1. Let me check. Is there anything with A4 and B1? Okay, this is it. This is not. This is not. But this is also here. Let's solve the third one. Foreground in the front of Statue of Liberty. What was in the foreground? The shattered remains of absolute institution. First, C. The C is with 2, going with 2. Which is the correct answer here? Option A is the correct answer. See how this is how you need to solve the MCQs. Okay, hope you got this, and we solved one question of the day. Moving to the second one, identify the name and the leader shown in the picture given below. See this picture taken from the chapter that is Nationalism in India. Okay, that is from the chapter Nationalism in India. Very, very important chapter. Last question was from Rise of Nationalism in Europe, and this is from Nationalism in India. Options are A. Lala Lajpat Rai, B. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, C. Gopal Krishna Gokhale, or D. Rajaram Mohan Roy. Now when I was seeing this options, something came into my mind. How does Rajaram Mohan Roy look? Because I am thinking that is any picture of him is given in class 10? So no. Okay, let's talk about others. Basically this picture, like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, is Bal Gangadhar Tilak, belonging to the Maratha region. He was a revolutionary, he was a freedom fighter, he was a person with extremist ideology, like who we call as Lal Bal Pal. We studied in class 8. So this picture is of Bal Gangadhar Tilak. And the description is given that, see, in this picture you can see at the corners, this is Taj Mahal, this is a village, and this is a mosque, this is a temple. So by this, they are particularly showing the unity in nation. Sometimes the question can also be asked that what does this picture signifies? Okay, get it? So we solve the second question. Third one in the list, thousands of people fled Europe for America in the 19th century due to. Now, why did the people fled? So A, because of widespread poverty and deadly diseases, frequent famine and poor living conditions, continuous war and political instability. D, that's harsh climate and repeated natural disasters. Now what happened? We know that the people of America or the land of America was not known to us for a longer period of time. All thanks to Christopher Columbus, that he found the route towards America, and Americo Vespucci was the person who identified it as a different land. And then what happened? The Europeans was going to America and all such thing was going on. But what led to thousands of people fled Europe? fled Europe for America in 19th century, because we have seen that in Europe there was frequent famines and poor living conditions. What were there? Frequent famines. Like we talk about Irish potato famine. Do you remember that a potato of like French fries, yeah, a potato type of thing can create a condition of famine in a nation? How incredible it was. So not incredible, how critical it was. Moving to the fourth question. Okay, B is the correct answer for third one. Louis Sebastian Mercier proclaimed, "Tremble, therefore, tyrants of the world, tremble before the virtual writer," who are referred to as tyrants in this context. Do you know what's trembling? The shaking of person in fear of something. So here they are talking about tremble. Who need to tremble? The tyrants of the world. Who are the tyrants of the world? Basically, the people who make others scared for a longer period of time, right? And they were the absolute monarch. Question to the answer. Answer to the question, option A. Educated classes who want to change the society. Okay, this can be answer. B. Absolute institutions like monarchy and church. C. Authors of the new book. And D. That's printing press. Now pay attention. Options are very close to each other, but what we need to focus here is who are referred as tyrants in the world. There are two things. One is a person who is a tyrant, right? And one is a person from whom this tyrant is scared or trembled. So they are scared or trembled from the printed books. But who are scared? This monarchy and church, because they were ruling the world for a longer period of time, right? And they were ruling in the context that their position does not decline, never decline. So because of that, when printing press came and it reflected their reality to the world, they were trembled that now what's gonna happen with us? Now everyone will revolt, like what happened in the French Revolution. You studied the role of philosophers too. If you remember, then it's okay, and if not, leave it because it was in 9th. So moving to the next question, that's okay, now the pattern change. Like what happened in the previous time? Like I was also with a mentality, now 20 MCQs are going to come. Then suddenly what happened? 4 MCQs from history came one by one. Okay, one from print culture, one from making of global world, one from rise of nationalism in Europe, and one from nationalism in India. Okay, just cracking the code. Let's crack how they prepared the paper today. Okay, so now prepare it for, like prepare the mentality that this is going to happen in your exam, because for a longer time we have a habit of writing the exam with MCQs first and then very short answers. Okay, so now moving with a 2-marker question is, the Silk Route was a good example of vibrant pre-modern trade and cultural links between distant part of the worlds. Explain the statement with any 2 examples. Interesting, easy, and most repeated question. Let us see, something in OR is also given, and this is what is known as internal choices. What it is known as? Internal choices, my bachas. So we have a 5th B for this. Sometimes the new crop can make the difference between life and death. Explain the statement with 2 examples. So basically, see, they are asking 2-marker question to you. And here is the surprise. See, they are asking 2-marker question to you. So you need to answer just 2 points. Is it true, ma'am? Yes. Do not exceed the word limit. In the starting itself, the instruction says that the word limit is 40 words. So do you remember what was the question number 5th A? The question number 5th A was that the trade that is happened by Silk Route is a vibrant cultural links also. That means the Silk Route is also responsible for trade as well as for the cultural links. Now we need to write a 2-marker question, and this is how you are going to write. I have written this handwritten so that you can relate how to write your answers in your SST exam. Hope this is really helpful for you. So, question number 5A, and answer to this question is as follows. Trade and culture go hand in hand. what I want to make you understand here is give a short intro to your answer. Never write an answer without an intro. Either it's 2 marker, 3 marker or 5 marker. Right? So I have given a small intro to it so that I should not exceed the word limit, because 2 points accurate we need to write. Okay. So trade and culture go hand in hand, or we can write the same sentence from the question also, that Silk Route is a vibrant pre-modern trade and cultural rings throughout the world. So basically, the 2 things are being linked. The first one is trade and the second one here is culture. If we talk about trade, as the name justify, silk was traded. It was traveling from China to Europe, right? However, silk was not the only item which was being traveled. Other than that, it was Chinese pottery, textile and spices, particularly from India and Southeast Asia. It traveled via the same route towards Europe. But now Europe also will pay something. Without payment, nothing works. Nah? We need something in return in the payment format. So yes, Europe paid to the rest of the world in the form of gold and silver at that time. So the currency was itself great at that time, right? Now, but the second point is culture. Now, what happened now? Whenever the trade is there, the people from Europe, from Central Asia was traveling from one place to another. Like, consider example, you're sitting in a classroom, you have a lunch break now. And when you have a lunch break, someone, you all will sit together, you are 8 people sitting, right? A person from there is from Karnataka, other one is from Tamil Nadu, someone is from Kerala, someone is from Maharashtra, etc., etc. Now all of them are bringing their lunch and there is variety of lunch for you. Similarly, like see how the culture shared in that lunch boxes. Similarly, when people traveled for trade from one place to another, will there be sharing of culture? For sure, no doubt. So yes, Buddhism from India spread in different directions. Like we know that Buddhism started from Indian subcontinent and spread it to the rest of the world from the same route. Even Indian or South Asian people were not aware about Christian, but Christian missionaries traveled via the same route. Even Islam religion also traveled via the same route. And this is the answer for 2 marker question. In the OR, we had another answer, but my dear students, you might be thinking that ma'am has done so much hard work, wrote all the answers in handwritten format, and do you want this PDF? Okay, I know you want this PDF, so no worries, just join this WhatsApp channel and you are going to get it for free. Not only this, there are many more things like list of important dates, all physics formulas, all maths formulas in just one PDF, and that's for free. So right now in the description box you will get a WhatsApp link. Join that WhatsApp channel and enjoy all that free stuffs available at the platform of Deeksha Vedantu. Moving to the next question, and if you forget the question, let's reread it. The question says, sometimes the new crop could make the difference between the life and death. Explain the statement with 2 examples. Okay, so yes, a new crop can make the difference between life and death. Intro is done. How? What happened? There was a potato known as humble potato. Now, this humble potato was sown and grown in America. What happened? Europeans founded America, luckily, and took the new crop to Europe as it was grown everywhere easily. Now, European people suffering from high prices of the food got a chance that cheap food, potato, is available to them. They began to eat well, live longer and enjoy their life. Now, what happened? The Ireland's poor people became so dependent on that potato. Maybe they are making the potato twister and enjoying it. So, that Ireland people, apart from joke, Ireland people became so dependent on the potato crop that what happened once now, a disease spread in that potato crop. Now blunder happened, disease spread in all that. Poor farmers were suffering, like they were not having food to sell, food to eat, and that is the result that they died of starvation. right? So yes, a crop that became a source of life for them became the reason of death for them. Did you get the point? 2 questions, 2 points, that's enough. Don't write the whole story that's in your mind. Okay, next question, that's 6th A. Question is 6th A. Now, oh, but question, we missed the question now because question was in the earlier slide. Okay. Question 6th A. We will read A and B both and then we will solve, okay? A variety of cultural processes played an important role in developing a sense of nationalism in India. Okay. Support the statements with suitable example. Basically, the question asks you, what is the role of culture in spreading what? Nationalism in India. Get it? Nationalism in India. Read the second one for the option. Salt march became an effective tool for resistance against colonialism. Analyze the statement with suitable reason. Now, whenever certain internal choices come, ma'am, we get confused which one to write and which one not to write. So you can do one thing. Just give some few seconds. Think about that. Okay, this question is for 3 marks. The question is for 3 marks. Think about that. Do you have different 3 accurate points to this question? Okay, in salt, I have this point, but I am not getting the 3rd point. Okay, what I can do? Okay, do I have it for culture? In culture, there was a role of painting Bharat Mata, Abanindranath Tagore, got it. Then we have folklores. Then we have national flag. Oh, 3 points done. So choose the one when you know the 3 points exactly what to write and what not to write. Okay, now question, that's 6th A. Answer to this is, following cultural processes played an important role in raising nationalist sentiments in India and RS. Again, pay attention. I have always written an intro to the question and you will also write it. So the first point is about figures and images. Okay. See, like we studied in nationalism in Europe, the people there made an allegory of the nation. That means a representation by which we will identify a nation. Like whenever I will tell you what is Bharat, something will come in your mind. Either it's flag or the posters of Bharat Mata, the figure of Bharat Mata. Yes, exactly. Whenever you are connecting your nation with a motherly figure, you definitely have a connected feeling. So, this picture was mentioned in the novel of Anand Mat written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, but it was painted by Abanindranath Tagore for the first time, and this one is so divine, soulful, like ascetic figure of Bharat Mata. Okay, 2 lines done. That's it. Next one, that is song. Again, the song is Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram song again was written in Anand Mat, and this novel was written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee or Chattopadhyay, what we call. This change was done because of the coming of Britishers. They were not able to pronounce and they changed our surnames and names, etc. Okay, we'll talk about it in detail in some other time. Next is about the flag. We have the Indian flag right now. There is a story of evolution of Indian flag. Like if we talk about Swadeshi movement, there was a Swadeshi flag. Then Gandhiji came, replaced in it the colors as well as added charkha in it to promote the indigenous production. Okay. Then later it was replaced by Ashok Chakra. So you can write a 2-3 line detail about flag also. 3 done, dusted, answer close. But if there is someone who knew the salt wala answer, then here is it. Okay, salt became effective tool of resistance because of the following reason. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, a normal salt, how? And okay, you studied class 10, now you know that salt became a reason for civil disobedience movement. But how to frame the answer? We don't have 3 points, we have bacha. We are on the board right now. So listen, Gandhiji was a person who was very good at converting the local issues to national issues. Getting my point? And salt was a small issue. But the one thing existed was that salt was consumed by every individual in India. Do you think that? Now, whenever something against salt is happening in the world, all would unite? Yes. Pay attention that salt was an item that was consumed by all rich and poor alike. And it can be a reason for the common unity, or it is a common issue so that people can unite together. Okay, but you might be thinking, what happened with the salt? So, salt was produced by evaporating ocean water, but when Britishers came to India, they had a monopoly that only the production of salt will be done by Britishers. Okay, major issue, major problem. And even when they sold that salt, they applied an inhuman tax on the item of daily consumption. So, Gandhiji decided that I will present 11 demands in front of Lord Irwin. No need to call Lord. Okay, Irwin, the Viceroy of India at that time, he presented that 11 demands, and in that 11 demand, most important was to abolish the salt tax. Gandhiji gave him an ultimatum that if you are not accepting these demands, then I'll start a salt march in the protest of it, and I know that Indians are going to join it. Get it? So yes, Irwin was unwilling to agree the 11 demands, and this made Gandhiji to start a march taking salt as the basis, and this will help in the development of the feeling of unity and nationalism. Done with the question number 6b. See how we are doing it, right? So you have solved one more question from your history, and now, ma'am, history is sounding to be hectic. My dear students, we are done with the 70% paper of history right up till now. Okay, moving to we have geography, civics, economics still in the line. Don't worry, just sip water, be calm and start again with the next question, that is 7th question. But before that, we need to read the question also, ma'am, and the question is here. So 7th A, we will read both the options so that we need not to come back to this slide. Your ma'am is becoming alsi day by day. So yes, in Britain, okay, the formation of the nation state, was not the result of a sudden upheaval or revolution, but was the result of long drawn process. Analyze the statement. Okay, or you have to write, the Treaty of Vienna was drawn up in 1815 with the object of undoing most of the changes that came about in Europe during Napoleonic Wars. Highlight the significant provisions of this treaty. Basically, here you need to write the provisions of Treaty of Vienna, and here you need to write how Britain was formed. Get it? Okay. Answers. We have the answers. Where we have it here. Okay. So we will start with the formation of Britain. We know that it is not the result of sudden upheaval or revolution. So we will start the intro with this, and then we are moving to the points. So we know that, bacha, if we talk about Britain, okay, the Great Britain we are talking about, basically Britain and the nearby areas were group of isle, that means they were the group of islands. Like for an example, this is Britain. Somewhere this was Scottish people living, Irish people living, Walish people were living. So this group of island, the people with different ethnic groups speaking different language were living there. Okay, like there were people speaking English, Irish, Scot, Wales. Okay, now what happened? Pay attention. These people, those were speaking English, became so powerful day by day. And in the year 1688, some points are not written here, I am telling so that you can write answer nicely. In 1688, they formed English Parliament. What they formed? English Parliament, and replaced what? The existing monarchy in that region. Now they become powerful. They replaced monarchy, established the English Parliament. That means power lies in the hands of the people. However, there was a ruler. Like if we know the structure of government of United Kingdoms right now, we can understand that there was English Parliament, but there was the monarch also, right? The monarch was not elected, he or she was hereditary, right? Now what happened? They view Scotland now, right? So with Scotland, because of their power, they signed the Act of Union in the year 1707. Now when they did that, they suppressed their culture, their identity, their language, etc. Got the point? Second point, we are done with Scotland. But did the Scottish people protested? Yes, the Scottish Highlanders protested, however were suppressed because they were not allowed to speak their Gaelic language and not to wear their national dress. Got it? Okay. Now moving towards the next place, that was Ireland, where Irish people used to live. Now the situation of Ireland is very unique, that in Ireland there were two types of people. One were Protestants and the other were Catholic. And Ireland was a place in which Catholic people were in dominance, that means in majority. But Britishers were supporting Protestant because they were Protestants. So they started supporting the Protestant against this majority Catholic groups, and forcibly they incorporated Ireland in the year 1801. Get it? And this is how the new United Kingdom of Great Britain was forced to make them more powerful, dominating what they have done. The new Britain introduced the new flag, the new national anthem, that God save our noble king. Okay, the Jack, I guess I'm missing this name. And the English language forcibly asked to be spoken by the people. Right? I know that this is looking to be like, ma'am, what is this? But my dear students, everything in one page. Matter solved. Okay. Next, moving to 7th B, to the students who know this Treaty of Vienna very nicely. Let's see how to frame your answers. Like Treaty of Vienna, start with 3 major points in your intro. That it was signed in the year 1815. It was signed in the year, again, repeat the year, 1815. Speak as I am speaking, otherwise everything will be blow out of your mind. Okay. So it was signed in the year 1815. What happened in 1815? Pay attention. It was between all the conservatives in Europe, major conservatives in Europe, signed with Napoleon, because this was the result of a war, that is Battle of Waterloo, in which Napoleon was defeated and this treaty was signed. It was hosted by Duke Metternich, an Austrian chancellor, and it was signed at a place known as Austria. Get it? Introduction done. Moving to the first point, the treaty. The provisions of this treaty was such that France, where Napoleon is defeated, now who will come back to the power? So the Bourbon dynasty, which was earlier deposed in French Revolution, came back into the picture. Right? Entry of the Shah Rukh Khan ki entry ho rahi hai. So Bourbon dynasty was restored to power, and after being deposed by the French Revolution, what happened now? Pay attention. Like for an example, this is France, and they never wanted that the people of France will expand and make more territories as done by Napoleon. So they basically ring-fenced France. How did they ring-fence France? Taking some territories, giving to conservatives here, here and here in the west, south, north, east direction, all of it. So a series of states were set up in the boundaries of France to prevent the further expansion. What they have done, pay attention, in Belgium, in the north, okay? The Belgium was given to Netherlands, and Netherlands is now known as United Kingdom of Netherlands. In the south, Genoa was given to Piedmont, again monarchical ruler. Prussia was given some territories in western frontiers, and Austria was given the control of northern Italy. German Confederacy, basically this was created by Napoleon. This was left untouched because Germany itself was a powerful region dominated by Prussia that has monarchy at that time. So this was left untouched, and the conclusion, see how we have done the 5 points, and the conclusion is that The main intention was to restore monarchy and replace Napoleonic power or liberal power from Europe. Get it or not? Give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying the session, because we are really doing hard work today. Not only me, you guys are also doing it, and it's worth it, because this is how we are going to write our exam in March. Okay, March na. So February 17 we don't have exam, we have in March. 17 is something of different subject. Don't think that your papers are starting from March, otherwise you will get a chill pill. So, concluded. See now framework, how I changed in a 5-marker question. Intro, points, conclusion. Okay. Examiner will be so happy seeing this format. Yeah, the person has studied somewhere very good, from somewhere very good. Okay. Going to the next one. Now, this is very important, bacha, because this is a case-based question, and I know that you guys are thinking that, oh, case-based, we will solve it at last point. But do you know, this year in the sample paper, this extract has a different source and not your book. So there is something which you have not read earlier. I know that this might not be visible to you, right? I'm just giving you how to solve it, so that you should solve this case-based question. In case you need any help, comment down, we will sort that out. So what happened now, sometimes the extracts are so easy that we need, like if we started reading Krishnaji, Trimbuk Ranade, basically KT Ranade, inhabitant of Pune, intends to publish a newspaper in Marathi language. Like when you start reading and reach here, you will forget that which newspaper in which language, etc, etc. Okay, while answering the question, you need to read it again. So why not let's read the question first and make it easy. Yes, explain the main reasons for publishing newspapers by Krishnaji. So he intends, okay, we get the intention in the first line itself, because he wanted the affording useful information on every topic. So basically he wanted free discussion on the subjects of general utility, scientific investigation, speculation. So for that discussion, history, geography of the country, everything, he wrote the newspaper. That's it. How was the task of native newspapers and political associations seen identical to the role of opposition? So here, the task of the native newspaper and political association is identical to the role of opposition in the House of Commons in the Parliament in England, because what was this newspaper doing? It was critically analyzing the government policies. It was what? Critically analyzing what? Government policies to improve the adjustments and many more such things. Get it? So here is the answer to the second question. Now what we need to pay attention, 1 mark, but this is for 2 marks. So whenever you write the last answer, 2 points must be there. Accurate and correct. Question is, analyze the reasons for the popularity of newspaper during the 19th century, because they gathered particular issues, they criticize the government, right? They talk about consider and desired points of the nations, etc. But ma'am, how should we answer it? Students, like this, pay attention, like this is your copy, okay, and you might be having like this. Okay, let's take white so that you can feel. Okay, this is your copy, okay, and this is your copy. My God. Right. So you will write that this is question number 8. Okay, and this is the answer to question number 8. Now what you need to focus is, you always write that I am writing the answer for 8.1. Write your answer, leave a line, 8.2. Write your answer, leave a line, 8.3. Okay, I'm teaching you like a student, but I know you need it. Okay, done with the question number 8, but here we are done with the case-based question. Now, history also have one more major important thing, that is map skill based questions. And do you know for how many marks? 2 marks. We can't lose it. So, see, two places A and B have been marked on the given outline map of India. Identify them. And now see, from history, identification is coming. You need to identify them. They will mark on the map and you need to just identify the locations. Give the correct names on their lines marked on the maps. A. The place where civil disobedience movement was launched. B. The city where Indian National Congress session was held in September 1920. Okay. However, for visually impaired students, we have different options. So now what we need to do is pay attention whenever you write your answers, like focus on it. Important point I am going to tell you. When you are solving history, suddenly in between your map work came. Now what you will do? You will go in the map work and mark it over there. No. You don't need to get diverted. Okay. What you need to do? In the answer sheet itself, because teacher should know that you have not missed that. In the answer sheet itself, write question 9, map work answer. Now answer to A. Just write the answer. I have written in detail. No need. Place where CDM was launched, Dandi. Write the answer here. We will mark in the map also, but what it takes to write it here, nothing. Okay. Sometimes what happens now, we miss marking. So there are chances the teacher become lenient and give half marks at least. Kya bachcha knows but he forget. Get it? So the session of Indian National Congress in September 1920 and this was done in Calcutta. Okay. The Calcutta and Dandi will be marked on your map. I'll show that in the last. Get it? And here we are done with section A. Now moving to the next section, that is section B. And guess what? It's geography for 20 marks. So we are starting again with MCQs, right? Question number 10th. What is essential for resource development to control the overall development? So this is from resource and development chapter. They're asking that what is necessary. Okay. Options are A, the availability of resources alone is enough. So I don't think that availability alone is enough, because we know that coal is deeply buried. How availability will be enough to use it? No, not correct. Option B, the presence of foreign invaders and their governance, not at all. What they will do? Technological development and institution. Yes, my dear students, in the chapter starting itself, they are saying that three things are very important. One is the presence of resource. Then there is the role of technology as well as institution setup. And all of these can be possible with the presence of human resource. Okay. So the answer is C. Okay, identify the appropriate option to fill in the empty boxes from geography. These type of questions come frequently. How? See, classification of soil. Now, they are making a flow chart like you guys make notes, right? For alluvial soil, the description here is given: ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat and rice, cereal and pulses. You need to identify what is ideal for the growth of cotton. So whenever cotton comes in mind, just write black soil, nothing else. Okay, so see, where is black soil? We have black soil in option A and in option D. Let's cross the option B and C. But to give the answer, we need to read the third one also, that is suitable for like cashew nuts. So yes, students, for cashew nut, which soil is suitable? It is laterite soil and the option will be D as correct. Hope you get this 2 MCQs from geography portion. Moving towards the next one in the list. 12th, a total of 628 tigers died in India during the past 5 years due to natural causes and other reasons. Okay, including poaching, according to government data. Meanwhile, 349 people were killed in tiger attacks during this period, with one state alone recording 200 deaths. My God. Which of the following is the most significant indirect consequence, not direct, most significant indirect consequence of poaching of the tiger population? So, whenever there is poaching, what happens directly or indirectly? Reducing in the prey species, dwindling tigers' food supply, increase in human-wildlife conflicts in protected areas, Rise in tiger population, not possible. Decrease in tourism revenue in the national park, not something indirectly linked. Rather, when something like this is happening, it can help, like it helped in the reduction of prey species, right? Because of it will dwindle the food supply also. Because of the prey species are decreasing, the food supply will decrease, and indirectly it will affect the population of tigers. So, like a jalebi question, I'll call it a jalebi question because it was outside round and round. Fine. 13th question of the day. Seems like your ma'am is boring and making it interesting like this, okay? So, 13th question, based on the classification of forest, which of the following statements would most likely apply to places like Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala? This question is very important, but what happens now? When we see so many states' name written all together, we think that, oh, this is not going to come, and if it is going to come, we are not going to remember it. But question is here, option A, these places mostly have forest managed as reserved to protected forest for conservation, or they rely on unclassed. So see, it is not unclassed because unclassed forests are particularly in Gujarat and Rajasthan region, no, east region. West region. See, they have forest resource and primarily focus on industrial development. No, this is not the one. There are no classified forest, and forest management is entirely left to private ownership. How it is possible? Everything will end then. So clearly option A is correct. The question was sounding to be difficult, but answer is not. Which of the following states have made rooftop water harvesting compulsory in India? A question from the chapter Water Resource. Very easy question, direct question, and the answer is Tamil Nadu. So, Tamil Nadu state, directly this fact is given in your NCERT. Question number 15. Which of the following statement best evaluates the overall goal of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana? My bachas, pay attention. New NCERT, okay, in the new NCERT there is a box given which talk about Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. If you are reading the old NCERT, if you are not making yourself updated, then there are chances you might miss this type of question. So if you are still doing it, just a wake-up call to all the students. Read NCERT thoroughly, and you know what I mean by thoroughly. Okay, options are A, addressing the negative ecological effects of large dams by reducing water usage, to provide better irrigation system and sustainable water conservation for farmers, shifting farmers from traditional crops to more commercial areas. This is not. Preserve the natural river flow and prevent the fragmentation of aquatic ecosystem. So basically, to provide better irrigation. Sinchai is a Hindi word for irrigation. So Kisan Sinchai, basically to provide irrigation system for the farmers. Very easy question. Moving to the next one, and see, now we are moving to a 2-marker question. Here there is no 3-marker, rather we have a 5-marker question. So MCQs were more, and we have 3 marks for map work too. Hence they reduced the subjective type of questions for you. Well and good. Question number 16th. Rice is grown as a commercial crop in Haryana and Punjab. We know that. But as a subsistence crop in Odisha. Using your understanding of geographical factors and economical practices, explain why rice cultivation differs in this region. And we are going to solve it right now. We are going to solve this right now. So see, students, pay attention here. What we want to choose, let's do this. So rice, if we talk about rice, so rice is a kharif crop, okay? Rice is a kharif crop, you can give it in the introduction too. And this kharif crop is a type of crop which needs water logging during the time we sow it, Okay, waterlogging. Like if you have seen in the movies rice being cultivated, you will see the farmer standing in the water up till their what we can say half of the body. So yes, it is a waterlogging type of crop, and it will grow only in the region which have availability of water either naturally or artificially. So we know that this region of Odisha, parts of Andhra Pradesh are the region which have good enough type of rainfall as well as connected with the supply of Ganga water. Then we have delta there and all that thing. So due to that, rice is a subsistence crop. There they grow for their subsistence because it was naturally done there. However, in Punjab and Haryana, it is the effect of Green Revolution started in 1970s. So if we talk about the climatic conditions in Haryana and Punjab, what is benefited for the growth of rice is availability of irrigation. Availability of irrigation. Why? Because of river Indus and its tributaries. Okay. However, in Odisha, there is natural climatic conditions. Basically, that's high temperature, okay, high humidity and high rainfall. See how I am writing the answer, and here everything will be listed. If we talk about economic factors, natural ports are nearby. Okay, the soil is perfect over here. So we have market access. Similarly, if we talk about the northern part of India, yes, we have on the western side certain ports, like in Gujarat, Kandla port is there. And as well as market availability, market knowledge is very much in the people of Punjab and Haryana to sell this type of crop. If we talk about farming practice, Punjab and Haryana being like influenced by Green Revolution, what they used is modern technology, okay, like HYV seeds, fertilizers, etc. However, as this is for subsistence level in Odisha, they are still using the traditional practices for farming, okay, using the traditional practices for farming here in Odisha. Is it clear? 2 marker question, and we have written it somewhere like 5 marker. So choose the best appropriate points and frame your answer very nicely. Moving to a 5 marker question. Before that, read the question in or. Person P is willing to establish a mineral based industry. So work oriented people these are. So he wanted to establish a mineral based industry. He has been advised to set up a bauxite industry in Odisha, okay, with a suitable and profitable venture. Now analyze the possible reason why he is advised to do that. Basically, like this is what competency based questions, so called competency based questions are known as. Competency based questions are like jalebi questions. They'll ask you something straightforward, but they will frame you like round and round so that you get confused. Okay, so in the or we have coal is the most important and abundant soil. Sorry, how it can be soil? Yeah. Fossil fuel in India. Justify the statement by evaluating the significant role it plays in the growth of Indian economy in different forms. So answer is, we'll see A first. Yeah, Person P is advised to establish bauxite industry in Odisha. Why? 5 reasons listed here. I have just used the keywords. You will write this in detail because you want to get 5 marks. I am not going to get 5 marks. I am giving you marks. Yes, Odisha is the state which is the largest producer of bauxite, and we know that bauxite is basically ore of aluminium. Okay, it is the ore of aluminium. The majority is present over there. From the book, see the percentage, how much it is present there, and write very accurate facts. Then we talk about Panchpatmali deposits. Basically, this is in Odisha. Okay, these are the deposits where bauxite ore is present in large number. This can be a point. If we talk about aluminium, it is in high demand in the market, and if person B is living in Orissa, and this can be a perfect venture because aluminium is a what we can say important metal that is providing strength to other metals like iron. So whenever there is metallurgy done for iron, we use aluminium to provide its strength. One more point. And the other most important point, that aluminium is a perfect replacement for heavy metals because of its lightness, right? We can say aluminium kadhai, aluminium utensils in our home. Okay, and the most important, it is good conductor as well as good malleability, like it can be folded into different forms easily. 5 marker for bauxite. Next question, that's 17B. Question was, coal is the most important and abundant fossil fuel in India because, and this is an intro, write the intro, give the answer as it like this. So basically they asked you 2 things in the question. Why it is most important and effective, write the significance, then write about the variety of coal that is available. So we know that for longer period of time when energy sources like solar energy, tidal energy and many more such modern type of energies were not present, then coal was the basic energy resource in the world. Okay, not only in India but in the world. Right, we have seen, all of us has seen the movie of that Sunny Deol, right, of that partition. I just forget the name, yaar. 2.5 kilo ka haath wali, right? We have seen that in the train how they were putting that coal. Okay, so yes, it has been an energy resource for a longer period of time and a source of power generation. It's always used as a power generation for industrial purpose too and domestic purpose too, both of them. Commercial energy requirement is also fulfilled by coal. Talking about the types of toll, sorry, so I think in my mind toll is going on because so much amount of toll we are paying nowadays, na? Okay, so if we talk about variety of coal, not toll, we have peat. 4 types are there. We have peat, then we have lignite, we have bituminous and anthracite. Okay, moving from bad quality to the best quality. Moving from the bad quality to the best quality. So, bacha, if we talk about coal, so coal is basically a resource. We find it deep inside the earth crust. Okay, deep inside the earth crust, buried. Okay, as we move down, the better quality we get, but it takes millions of years to become coal. Now, how its quality is differentiated, something is happening. So, how the quality is differentiated, it's like due to the presence of moisture in it. Like if we talk about coal, we know it has a burning property, and if there will be moisture, that means the quality is degraded. So peat is basically the type of coal which have high moisture content. Okay, which have high moisture content. If we talk about lignite, yes, it also have more moisture content, but not as much as in comparison to peat. When we talk about lignite, it is being large scale used in the world. Then bituminous, a far better one, right? Majority of all our demands are fulfilled by the bituminous type of coal. Anthracite, the best one, which do not have any type of moisture content in it, and very finest quality of coal. Okay, all you need to write my explanation, what I gave, into your words, frame your answers and score 5 marks. 17B is done. Moving to the 18th question of the day, that is again a case-based question from geography. Do you want? We should solve it. Okay, I was thinking to let you solve this, but let me do a favor for you, because sample paper we are doing, but in the next case-based some series we will be starting. You are going to solve all the case-based questions. I think that we need to practice before writing in the final exam. Okay, so read the given text and answer the following question. 1 plus 2 plus 1, that means this is for 4 marks. Again, what we will do here is, We'll read the question as we did in the previous one too. So what do you think is global waste expected to increase by 2025? So yes, this extract is basically about global pollution. It's taken from some source, some World Bank type of link is given here. That's very much clear that this time it is not coming from your book. Maybe like among the three, one of them might be from your book, but this one is not. And possibility can be different like. Okay, so what do you think is a global waste expected to increase by 2050? Where you can see 2050? Okay, here I can see 2050. Intensive material consumption depletes natural resources and causes negative environmental impact at every stage of product life cycle. Global waste is expected to increase to 3.4 billion tons by 2050. But question was why? And this is not the answer to the why. So what we need to do, ma'am, we need to read this extract. Okay, global pollution is rising due to rapid economic growth. Fine. So now this is the answer. Why? Because of rapid economic growth, population increase, insufficient environmental management, right? These basically are the reasons why global waste is expected to be increased. Next question. How do manufacturing industries cause pollution of different types? Explain with examples. I don't think I'm going to give this answer. We have multiple type of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, etc. And how industries cause them. 1 mark a question, write it on your own. You are a 10th standard student, you will do it. Now 2 mark a question, is it correct to consider pollution as a possible cause for worsening of the current global trends of poverty and inequality? Yes, this is about a analytical based question. When you will read the second paragraph of the source, you will get the answer, direct answer for this. Give me a thumbs up that yes ma'am, we are going to solve it for you. Not for me, do it for you. Okay, done with the last question, and this was for 18th number na. So answer, the format of this answer should be such that we did it for history also. And the 19th one is map work. We know that there might be 3 map work for geography. As I told earlier, mention in the answer, right? Mention in the answer copy. Then later you will mark it in the map too. Okay. So here is the questions for map based skills, 3 marker. On the same outline of map, locate and label. Now here it is locate and label, there it was identification. The following with suitable symbol. The dam in Satluj Byas river, which is used for both hydel power production and irrigation. Do you remember it? Think about it. I am going to tell it in the last. Or the dam in the Mahanadi basin that integrates conservation of water with flood. One dam is going to come for sure, right? Any 2 of the following. A major seaport in West Bengal. Okay, it is Haldia. International airport in Tamil Nadu, Meenambakkam. International airport in Punjab. Ma'am, you told this, why not that? Because I want the answers from you in the comment section right now. Okay, so congratulations, because we have completed 50% of our sample paper. Take a deep breath, drink a sip of water, right? Get ready for the another 50%, because this one is also interesting. We have political science and economics left with us. Okay, so bachas, get set and go. Section C, that's political science for 20 marks. Question number 1, that is a MCQ. Which of the following statements are true with respect to ethnic composition of Belgium? Easy question from the very easy chapter of SST, that's power sharing. My favorite, because this is the first chapter we usually teach now. And by the end of the year, what do you know? We teach it so multiple times that each and every line of NCERT is just mugged up in my mind. And I know that, oh, this line on this page and this paragraph. So this is how you can also study it. Like I'm sure that you might have studied it in your PA1, PA2, then half yearly. Then you're studying it for pre-boards. Like this particular chapter, I don't think that you should lose any mark in this. Okay, coming back, true with respect to ethnic composition. Okay, 59% of total population of Belgium lives in Wallonia region and speaks French. Okay, crazy. 40% lives in Flemish region and speaks the language Dutch. 1% of the Belgians speak German. This is correct. I am sure about the third one. Rest I don't know anything, because yes, 1% of the Belgium speaks German. In the capital city of Brussels, 80% of the people speak French and 20% of the people speak Dutch. Now pay attention which statement you are sure about. I am sure about third one. Is anywhere third year? No. Here, okay, here it is. Anyway, third year? No. So we are left with two options, B and C, and they are definitely different from each other. Either 1, 2, 3 are correct, or 3 or 4 is correct. So students, we know that in the nation Belgium, the majority population was of Dutch, right? In the whole country, the majority population was Dutch. However, the minority population was French here. Minority population was French here. So this statement is so contradictory. However, the fourth one is correct, because in the capital the situation was reverse. Dutch, being in the majority of the nation, were in the minority in the capital. However, French, being in the minority in the nation, were in majority in the capital. Everything going round and round. Okay, don't worry. 3 and 4 is the correct one to this question, and the question number is 20. Okay, let's move to the next question and 21 question. Still on 21 question, don't worry. The cartoon below depicts Germany's government that was formed after 2005 elections. It included the two major parties of the country, namely the Christian Democratic Union and Social Democratic Party. Okay, the two parties are historically competing with each other. Which of the following option best explains the cartoon? Recently, I just published a video on the same channel, Deeksha Vedantu, where there were certain image-based questions, and I'm sure this question was there. Even I also made a video how to solve image-based question or how to study for image-based questions. But go and watch that too, right? This image is taken from Civics book. Okay, here you can see a car with two-wheeler, not two-wheeler. What I am saying. So, two steering, we have a car. Basically, they wanted to tell there are two types of political parties. They are competing with each other since a long period of time. Now, what happened in a particular year? They started forming a coalition government. Will it run? No, not at all. Imagine that your parents left home and gave the responsibility to you and your sibling to arrange everything. Will it be possible? No, similarly. So how can nation be arranged then? Question number 22. Long question, easy one. Consider the following case and choose the correct answer. Case is, suppose the government of India plans to issue new currency. Okay. Notes of different denomination in order to curb the influence of black money. This is something known as demonetization, which happened in India. Okay, I was in college, and do you know, I was in college and I was living in a different city from my hometown. How to get money? But it was so difficult. There were long queues of lines in front of ATM, and we were like struggling to have money. So yeah, the government of one state is opposing to this policy of central government. Yes, okay, this is right in democracy. So can the state government stop the union government from implementing this policy? So basically the policy is regarding currency. Pay attention, the question is from the chapter Federalism. The question seems difficult, but it's easy. Yes, because currency is subject of state list. First of all, no, it is not subject of state list. Otherwise, every state of India might have their own currency. No, because currency is a subject of union list. Okay, let's read other also. Yes, because the approval of both state and government is necessary. No, it's not in the concurrent list. No, because such change must be approved by local government. Why local government have no such right? So yes, the answer is B. Question 23 in the form of assertion reason, directly reading the assertion. Exclusive attention to caste can produce negative result in democracy. Exclusive, okay. Exclusive, alag se, fine. Reason R. It can divert attention from other important issues, thus leading to tensions, conflicts, and even violence. Correct. A is correct. A is. Both are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Moving to the subjective type of questions from civics, question number 24. We'll read 24. Highlight any two key features of federalism. By favorite question of CBSE. Right, favorite. 5 features are there, just need to write 2. However, in the answer here I have written 5. You write any 2. So, what are the features of federalism? By mark this in mind. Mark this in mind, very important. Like a story like this. So, basically, features of federalism. What is federalism? Okay, first is, what is federalism? Federalism means sharing of power. Sharing of powers in vertical line, like central government, state government, and then local government. So it's sharing of powers. So basically, in federalism, there are 2 or more than 2 levels of government. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So first point, there are 2 or more than 2 level of government. You know, these different level of government governs the same citizen. For example, government of Madhya Pradesh is ruling me, for an example, and I am also being ruled by the government, central government sitting in Delhi. So both the government ruling the same citizen, what is the difference? Is their jurisdiction. What is the difference? Is their jurisdiction, and jurisdiction here means Karya Kshetra. If you don't know, I'll tell you the meaning, that work area, where they are working and in what they are working. So basically, each tier have different jurisdiction in the matters of legislation. Okay, in the matter of legislation, in the matter of taxation and administration. According to the question, as it is asked for 2 marker, this much, this much is more than enough, but we'll study like it is a 5 marker question. So, different people are ruled by different government, but the jurisdiction is also different on the basis of legislation, taxation and administration. And do you know that this jurisdiction, okay, there is one more point, that this jurisdiction is mentioned in the Constitution of India. So this is mentioned in the Constitution of India, and the fundamental provision is such that nobody can change any provision that's fundamental unitarily. That means one level of government do not have the right to change it. Rather, it requires the consent of both the level of government, that's central government and state government. Get the point? Who is the final body to interpret the constitution? Like it is written in the constitution. Now, what constitution is telling us? Where we will get? So, the court is the final interpreter. Court is the final interpreter of the constitution in case of any dispute. Right? It is federalism. Brothers and brothers, they will be fighting for land. Like in a family, it usually happens. So, who is the final decision-making body? Your grandfather. So, who is the grandfather here? Supreme Court. Okay, in case of any dispute that occurs in the nation, who is the final interpreter? Supreme Court. Source of revenue, because these government are doing work, they need paisa, and paisa is revenue, and revenue, about revenue, sources of revenue is also mentioned in the Constitution. All about money. So, these are the 5 features of federalism. Question was for 2 marks. You need to write only 2 points. Moving back to next question. 25 question. Women in India face discrimination, disadvantage and oppression in many ways. Okay, true. Highlight any 2 perspectives of life where you witness this inequality. This is from the chapter Gender, Religion and Caste. Most interesting and most confusing chapter of SST. Again, this is a 3 marker question according to your sample paper. but here I will be discussing it as per a 5-mark question, because there are high chances this can be asked for 5 mark. You might be thinking, ma'am, you are making us to solve the sample paper. It itself is a hectic task, and in that also you are making us to study a 2-marker question in the face of 5-marker. Kitna zulm hai. But this zulm is like quite necessary to frame you strong for your exams. Okay, so yes, women are facing certain disadvantage oppression in the society since a long time in India. We know that, and there are certain reasons for it. However, the situation is so better right now. We are blessed that we are born in this century where women and male in 70% of Indian households are treated equal. I hope this number is correct. I'm just guessing it. However, how they are being disadvantaged, so we know that they are being disadvantaged in different sectors. Like if we talk about education, right? If we see the difference of literacy rate, if you talk about males, it is 79%, and if we talk about female, it is 54%. This clear-cut difference tells us that the women are being disadvantaged in terms of education. We know that in previous time it was a mentality that as women, females were to be married to a different house. Why to spend lot of money on a liability? Okay, and the son was considered as an asset in the nation. So you can write, you cannot write so theory and social, and don't put your thoughts in your answer like you are taking badla from your answers. No. Low paid jobs, yes, we know that in the Indian society it's harsh true that the females are comparatively paid less than the male. Like let's take the example of Bollywood stars. There are certain interviews of theirs released that they are being paid less as they worked in the equal movie, one single movie with a hero, but heroes are paid more and the heroines are paid less. However, there are certain revolutionary heroines also there are changing that. Good enough. Sex ratio. Basically, sex ratio is birth of girl child over per 1,000 of males. Right, and there are states in India where you can see the sex ratio of like strength of girls below 850 number 2. So this is alarming rate. However, overall the average one is 913 according to your NCERT. We know the cases of domestic violence and political participation, which is very less, very less. If you see that the political participation in Lok Sabha for women is around 14 point some percentage, and then if we talk about state legislative assembly, it's merely 5%. However, there was a bill pending in the parliament for the reserved seats of women's in where Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly, it's being passed recently and book has mentioned it, so pay attention. One more thing, 1/3 reservation was already given to women's in local panchayat bodies and municipalities, basically local government. So there is a difference between the two. Don't ever get confused because this one is important. Okay, so we have done with 25th question. Okay, 24 is done, 25th is done. Now we will go with 26th number. So, democracy leads to peaceful and harmonious life. Okay, among citizens in every sphere. Support the statement with suitable argument. Now, whenever there is suitable argument, there is suitable examples, pay attention. Your examples and arguments are genuinely suitable. Yes, see, this one is from outcomes of democracy. Okay, this democracy wala is from outcomes of democracy, and whenever I study the chapter democracy, I have a thought that why is it existing in the NCERT? Like, yaar, what is this? Okay, fine. However, it's something different from the ideal definition of democracy, but it's actually not revealing the truth also. Okay, at the end, democracy is good. Fine. Democracy leads to peaceful and harmonious life. However, no doubt, democracy genuinely leads a peaceful and harmonious life, because we know that other than democracy, what option do we have? We have dictatorship, right? We are aware about the fate of the people of North Korea. We won't allow our nation to follow dictatorship over it. Monarchy, we know, dynastic succession, not at all successful. So yes, it is peaceful and harmonious way, but how? Give a suitable example, give a suitable argument. So we have an argument of Belgium. We know that in the Belgium there were civil crisis going on, okay? But this civil crisis is solved by a basic solution in a democratic nation, and that is what, bacha? Power sharing. If the people of Dutch and French might have not done the power sharing in a very, very good manner, they might be fighting like Sri Lanka did, as they didn't allow them to power share with the Tamilians, right? So yes, power sharing is a very, very fundamental aspect of democracy, in which equal interest of all the ethnic groups society is fulfilled without any discrimination, and hence it is a peaceful and harmonious way. Like, differences are being respected and conflicts are being resolved, and it is, pay attention, NCERT has a very genuine point that democracy should not always be the rule of majority. Getting my point? But now you might be thinking, ma'am, if there is majority in a country of certain community, whenever they will give votes, the government will be formed by majority. Meaning here is, the government that is formed by majority should not always be the government by majority. Means that it should not always and only work for majority, rather also keep the minority with them. Okay? Formed by majority, but not should be the government of majority. Getting the difference? By and of. Okay. So this is how 26th question is done. And now, high time to take a deep breath, because even I am tired and you also might be. Sip a glass of water. I think now water will not work. We need coffee, right? We need coffee and a plate of Maggie. Will it work? Now, but don't get up and make Maggie. It will take you 2 minutes. Complete it. Set a timer, because we have to complete it in 3 hours anyhow. Okay, right now you're not writing, but in exam hall you will be writing, you will be pressurized. Some questions, answers might not be in your mind. You will be looking here and there, how to cheat, how to ask from your friends. Don't do that, because do you know there are strict actions if you are doing cheating in your exam, not teaching. Okay, next question, 5-marker question. See, there's 2 2-marker question in civics, 1 3-marker question, and 1 very important 5-marker question. I'm pretty sure this is going to come from the chapter political parties. For sure, write it somewhere, get it signed by me. Tell me after your exam happens that, ma'am, from this chapter 5-marker question didn't come. I'll change everything. So definitely a 5-marker question is going to come. 27A, from political parties play a significant role in effective working of democracy. Basically, they are asking what are the functions of political parties. Okay. Or may we have one more question, analyze how the issue of leadership succession poses a challenge to political parties. See, this question is tricky, difficult too. Why? Because in your book, there is a section, challenges of political parties. Okay, and you have 5 points in that, although you have 4 only, but it's so deeply defined, so we can make it 5. Like, one is leadership success, I have a problem of S, leadership succession. Then we have problem of internal democracy, and then we have money and muscle power. Meaning, no meaningful choice to others. Now, they are not asking you all the challenge. They are just asking you the issue of leadership in 5 marks. This is a problem, this is a difficulty, but every problem has a solution, because Tanvi Ma'am is here with you guys. So first we will solve with question 27A, then we will move to question 27B. Okay, I think now As the lecture went for 1.5, now my mind is also going somewhere. No worries. So here are the functions of political parties. 5 functions, write in detail, because this is a 5-marker question. 120 words is the word limit. Okay, don't make the flowchart like this. I just made to make this interesting for you. We know that why are political parties made. So political party is a group of people come together to contest elections. Okay, so the first function is contesting elections. For contesting elections, they need to choose their leaders. In different nations of the world, they have different types to choose their leaders. Like if we talk about India, it varies from political party to other party. Some people choose their leaders from hereditary succession. Some choose by the choice of topmost leaders, and many more. Some choose it, other nations choose it by elections too. Getting my point? So yes, contesting election is one of their major function. Now, but while contesting elections, have you ever noticed people, right, coming at your home, joining hands, asking for votes? What did the vote? Right, joining hands for the first and the last time, asking for elections. So yes, because at that time they tell you their policies and programs. Like recently there was election in Bihar. You might have seen Prashant Kishore, Maithili Thakur and many other leaders sharing their policies and programs which they will implement after the successful victory in their election. Get it? So there is a policy and program framework for that. Now consider that one of them win the election. What they will do? They will make the law. What if they didn't get victory in the elections? What they will do? They'll play the role of opposition. And most important thing all these political parties are doing, they are shaping the public opinions. How they are shaping it? Because they want to get re-elected the next time. So they want to become favorite in the eyes of public by shaping their policies and implementing it. Being the part of government or not being the part of government, they can force government to do so. Get it? 5-marker question, write in detail. And if not, you have done it right now. Like see, if you don't know what to write up till now, like we are in the month of December, starting of December, and you don't know how to write this 5-marker question, blunder, problem. So if not, stop the video right now, take out your civics book, frame your answer, learn it and rock it. Okay. 27B. Yes, we have seen that one major challenge in the political party was issue of leadership succession, right? Hereditary succession. Like we see that there are certain political parties in which leaders are chosen and we don't know the process. So let's give a accurate 5 pointers for that. First, in any of the political party in India existing right now, do you choose their leaders? No. Do active members have any role in choosing their leaders? No. Who choose the leader? We don't know, because there is no open and transparent procedure for that. Get it? Even we can see that there are certain unfair advantages provided to certain leaders. Maybe they have some money power or muscle power, right? पैसा है, सब करा लेता है, तो we know that. So dynastic succession, one of a major problem. I'll not say a problem, otherwise it will be a controversy. So one of the feature of one of our political party in India, that dynastic succession is going on, right? They are not even, okay, leave it. So no adequate experience, only popular no adequate experience is there, only popular support is there. Like if we talk about the youngest MLA chosen in India from Bihar recently, that is a clear example. It's not a controversy, it's not something, I am being in a democratic nation, I'm just analyzing the situation, that in a country, she won the elections. I'm talking about Maithili Thakur here. She won the election. Do she have any political experience? No. But she won the election, she became the leader in terms of popular support from the public. Now, whatever is the reason for her popular support, but she won it. It can be a challenge for a nation because sometimes it may have happened that the choice of leader is wrong. I'm not talking that Madhuri Tagore choice is wrong. She will work and we will evaluate how she is working. But it can be a challenge, one of the challenge. Getting my point? Personal loyalty to the leaders. Yet this is major thing, like politics is being politicized. Getting point? There are certain leaders who are being given personal choices, if I will become CM, I'll make you education minister. Okay, you are my choice. What if the person has not studied till class 10th and he become the education minister of the nation because of the personal choice? Okay, so this is a perfect explanation to this question. Hope you enjoyed this because I did. Next question is about case-based question. Read the given text and answer the following question. But this is taken from power sharing chapter from your NCERT. So I'm pretty sure there is no need to read this because this is from your NCERT and I think you have read the NCERT thoroughly. So state any two demands of Tamils in Sri Lanka. First demand, recognize our language as official language, Tamil, and give respect to our religion. Khatam. 1 mark guaranteed. State the result of majoritarian government in Sri Lanka. So what is the result? Civil war. Continued till the year 2009. 1 mark guaranteed. Explain any two provisions of Belgian model of power sharing. Now pay attention. Nothing is written here about Belgian, but you know about Belgian model. Okay, so write it that between 1970 to 1993 they have amended the constitution 4 times. But what changes did they do? In the central government, ministers from different social group, culture will be equal, and in the state government will be given more power by the central government, so that state is no longer subordinate to the central government. Get it? This is how you are going to solve it. See how easy was it. Now consider you are reading the whole extract, then writing the answer. Total waste of time. I have given a strategy how to solve case-based question in one of my video. Go to the channel, watch it right now. Very important for your exam. Okay? Chalo. Solved 28 question. The format of writing is in front of you. Follow this answer writing format. Why I have written it everything handwritten. However, the writing is not so good because I am writing on the board, and the most important perspective of mine was a good explanation to you. So pay attention. In every of my answer writing I have focused on the keywords, and these keywords are directly from the NCERT, nowhere else. I'm not writing something that's in my mind. Follow this. So no more Gyan because we have one more section, that is section D, and take a breath because this is the last section of your sample paper. I know students, you have a lot of burden in your mind, lot of burden on you. Exams are near, need to solve sample paper for math, science, many more, do you know? But these sample paper solutions are very important. Okay, I'll share you a story of my time when I was in 10th. The major difficulty which I was facing was in the subject Sanskrit. Because what happened now, we started reading Sanskrit around class 6th or 7th, and in the initial times now, I took no interest. That was my mistake basically. I took no interest. So because of that, my basics of Sanskrit was so weak. Now 10th came, no solution, we need to study, and my parents were like, study, score good marks, although they were correct. So what happened now? Sanskrit paper. Now what I was doing, because I don't know the basics of Sanskrit, every day I get up early in the morning and learn one Sanskrit essay or letter and write it again and again. You know how many times I wrote it in a day? 10 times. And it was crazy. Like I was like rattafication, total rattafication I was doing. So I was having a fear of Sanskrit, but one of the life-changing moment was sample paper for me, because do you know, I bought one booklet, a random booklet from the market. It was set of 10 sample papers, important papers. I bought a book. I solved all of them. Someone suggested me solve them. It will be helpful for you. I solved all of them, and it's so crazy. Right now I'm having goosebumps because I can't accept that. Right? 80% of my Sanskrit paper came from the first sample paper of that book. I don't know how I was lucky, it was leaked or what happened, I don't know. But 80% of the paper came from that sample paper, and this tells you how important the sample paper practice is. Right? What if 20% of the paper comes from here? So you might be sure about that marks, okay? Okay, no more Gyan. Moving to section D of economics. Again, this one is for 20 marks, my dear students. Question in the form of MCQ format, question number 21. Underemployment is caused when? Okay, when is underemployment caused? Options are A, more workers are employed than actually required. Okay, fewer workers are employed than actually required. Workers are paid more than their actual output. Jobs are given only to high educated workers. No. So basically the situation is underemployment, and it is a type of unemployment. What is unemployment, my dear students? When a person wants to work but is unable to find the work. And what is underemployment? When a person is working less than its potential or less than its required. Option A, correct one. Okay. Question 30. What can be inferred about the limitations of using per capita income, that is average income? We know that there is a limitation to use it to compare the well-being across countries. Like World Bank used the criteria average income, then again it was a failure, and then we moved to HDI. Choose the correct option as the answer. Option A. It shows how equally or unequally income is distributed among the people. If it would have shown, why would we replace it? Not correct. The only measure needed to understand a country's development is per capita income. It gives a basic idea of economic well-being but hides the income inequality. This can be, but let's not hurry and move the D option. It only reflects the industrial growth. Arey bhai, industrial growth, not at all, and does not consider other important factors. Which is the correct option? C. Hope you understood it. Give me a thumbs up in the comment section. Next question, 31. Okay, now let us be super fast. Which of the following example best demonstrate how the tertiary sector supports both primary and secondary? So, according to sectors of economy, how many sectors in the economy are there? There are 3. Primary, secondary, tertiary. Primary sector grows, definitely secondary grows. And if both of them grows, tertiary will grow. If tertiary will grow, both of them will grow. They are interconnected. Question again. Following example best demonstrates how tertiary sector supports primary and secondary sector. Option A. Farmer, like see, tertiary is supporting primary, secondary. Okay, don't reverse it. Farmer grow vegetable, send them directly to consumer with no transportation or storage involved. How can be possible? They need transport, na? A factory makes shoe and use raw materials like leather to create the product, relying on transport and retail stores to distribute. It can be option C. A bakery bakes bread and uses delivery service to send the bread to local shops for sale without any direct involvement. How can it be possible? They need the raw material. Company produces furniture from wood but does not require. Arey bhai, B is the correct answer. 32. Which one of the following issues currency notes in India? My favorite question hai. CBSE का favorite question है. Which? Because Which agency issues currency? RBI. लिख लो दिमाग में. Write it somewhere in the mind. Reserve Bank of India. Established in the year 1935, and what it issue currency. It is also known as banker of the bank. Write an essay on this. 5-mark question can come. What are the role played by RBI in a nation? Okay. It supervises the credit facilities in the country. Okay. It is a banker. It is a last resort for all the banks. Like, it is helpful for bank when they are getting bankrupt or anything like this happen. So RBI will help it. Get it? 31, 32. 33. Person Z tries to explain how the requirement of double coincidence of want in a barter system limits trade and exchange. Which of the following justification do you think? But I think, my dear students, as I was scrolling Instagram and saw a reel, that everything was going fine. We were cutting trees, we were plucking the fruits, eating eating animals, living the life on stones. Who is the person got the idea of this money, and now everyone is running behind money like crazy? However, change is the only constant. So person Z tries to explain how the requirement of double coincidence of want limit. Okay, fine. It make trade more complicated, as each person must have what the other person wants, limiting the pool of potential trade partner. This point is correct. Let's read other. The barter system allows trade to be conducted more efficiently. Acha. Since both parties already know what they need. No. It increases the number of exchange because each person can trade for exactly what they want. Not at all possible. Like, I want a watch right now, right? And I teach. What is the possibility that the person selling me watch want to get their kid of class 10 to be taught by me? No chance. System creates value for goods by ensuring that both parties have a direct need for each other's good. A is the correct one, bhai. सीधा सीधा A लगाने का. Okay. 33 done. 34. Column A, column B. Okay. Recognize and choose the option that correctly. Sometimes, now what we do, we directly jump and see the column A and column B, get happy. Okay, let's mix it. And we forget reading the statement given above it. Okay. See, it can be here indirectly written. Can be possibility, and chances that we make the wrong answer. So read it, okay? Column A, that's effect of globalization. Column B, it's the outcome. Increased foreign investment, cultural links and awareness, technological exchange and awareness, growth of multinational companies. Padna padega. So what happened because of the increase of foreign investment? So foreign investment increased. Expansion of global market and access to technology. Okay. Loss of traditional jobs due to automation and cheaper labor elsewhere. Spread of cultural practice, ideas and values across. Fine. See, cultural exchange and awareness. By I know this. 2 ka 3 is for sure. 2 ka 3, 2 ka 3, 2 ka 3. Solved. Crazy, but let's see. Okay, not crazy. Increased foreign investment leads to expansion of global market and access to technology. Yes, that's very true. Technological exchange, again, see. What happened with the technological exchange? This traditional jobs, automation, cheaper labor elsewhere. Growth of multinational companies, large companies becoming dominant in the global market. Small ones are suffering in that. Okay. D is the correct option to this question. Hope this is clear. And moving to the last subjective type, that's of economics. Question number 35 in front of your screen. Evaluate the utility of public services in contributing the overall well-being of individual and society. So basically, there are two types of services, public service and private service. Now here we need to understand that public services are the services which are owned by the government. Pay attention, bacha. You can also write it as an introduction. Okay. Public services are the services which are owned by the government and their primary objective. Okay. And their primary objective is public welfare. It is public welfare. But now, how is it responsible for the overall development of a nation? How is it responsible for the overall development of the nation? So now what we can do, divide it into chunks like write a point related to health. We know that what is role of health, right? We know that what is role of health, like government school, government hospitals, the facilities provided in the government hospitals to the people who can't afford it. We know that medical things are so expensive in a nation. So government basically needs to take the responsibility of these basic things like health, like education, by making government schools, by providing certain policies to the citizens, sanitation and hygiene. I hope you are going to write this question easily. 2 marker, 3 marker now. Sorry, it was for 3 marks, okay? So write the sanitation wala part bhi. Expanding access to loans in the formal sector is important. We know that expanding access to loans in the formal sector is very, very important. Yet it is equally critical that these loans are accessible to the people for national development. To be honest, I read this question at least 10 times and then I got the meaning of this question, to be honest here. I was thinking that, okay, expanding loan, that too in a formal sector, is very good. Then how we can critically analyze it? Because if we are not choosing formal, then there is informal present. But what are the negatives of it? So I understood it, but my mind worked later, and it is that beta, we are taking loans, credit, because of formal sector. But what if a person becomes so dependent on it? Then it can lead to the result that is debt trap. Okay, it can lead to the result that is debt trap whenever a person takes loan from the bank and is unable to repay it on time. Then person goes in a problem that is known as debt trap. First point you can write. How banks and cooperatives need to lend more at low cost of borrowing. They have a target and they need to do what? Give loans at low cost of borrowing, and this is how the people are moving more to the formal sectors. Okay, and yes, this helps in promoting the entrepreneurship, whatever we call. But what happens sometimes, everyone cannot have a successful business. Sometimes some people fall in that trap too. Okay, so it promotes it, I guess. Why does promoting? Because of the availability, accessibility of loans. Got my point? Okay, so 36 question on the way. We are done, completed. 37. Highlight the significant 3 factors that have contributed to the growth of globalization. My favorite question. See, this chapter, globalization from Indian economy, is a small chapter, very, very small. Only 2 topics are coming. One, what is globalization? So, the interdependence and interconnection of 2 nations in each other is known as globalization. What are the factors affecting globalization? This. Development of technology. Bhai, oil is being transported from one nation to another via certain mind-blowing technology we don't even know. Right? Gas is being transported and many more such crazy stuffs. So, the development in technology, particularly in the movement of good and capital, or we can say transport and communication, is very crazy. One factor. What's globalization? Interconnection among different nations, and it has made it possible. We know information communication technology has a role, like telephones, phones, internet, many more things. liberalization also. What is liberalization? That means freedom of market. That means freedom of market. Okay, so yes, there are certain nations like India. We were worried to open our economy. We were a closed economy after independence because the struggle we faced after the British conquest, right, and their colonial period, we were so scared to open our economy. Hence, we choose to be closed one. But what happened now? In 1991, our economy faced a major problem. We were not having money to buy crude oil for only 7 days. And honestly, the great work of Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was an economic minister at that time, he decided to follow the policy, that's LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. So one of the very important factor of globalization is liberalization, opening of market to the different world. Get it? 37 is done. We have 38 and then we have 39 too. Okay. Let's read the question for 38A. A research student spoke with two persons M and N to learn about their work related differences. Okay, a research person went to village and asked them the question. On the basis of interview connected with both of them, the student concludes that while the person M was working in organized sector, okay, the person N was working in a workplace where they are unorganized. By clear-cut question, write the difference between organized and unorganized sector. Before moving, let's study OR also. Privatization can have both positive and negative effects on economy. Support the statement with argument. Okay, get it? First question is the difference between what? Organized sector and unorganized sector. My dear students, favorite question of CBSE. Write the difference between organized and unorganized sector. So how you will write? So there is a person working in organized sector. Let's talk about regulation first. Okay, first is regulation. Then we will talk about security. Okay, then we will talk about facilities. Okay, and many more things. Stay connected. So the first thing, talking about organized sector, it is regulated by the government. It follows all the rules and regulations set up by the government, but it does not. If we talk about security, so yes, the job is very much secured. Job is secure. But in unorganized sector, job is not secured. Whenever there is work, you will be called for the work. If we talk about facilities, let us divide it, right? Your working hours, okay? Your working hours in an organized sector is fixed. However, here it is not fixed, right? See, if a person is working in a shop nearby your home, no time is fixed. They will be called whenever. They will be asked to close the shop whenever the customer goes. No time is fixed for them, okay? And if anyway they are working extra hours, okay, in organized sector they will be paid, but no such thing is paid here. Their salary is provided to them on time. They even get the benefits like I just forget. They even get the benefits like gratuity. Okay, they get medical benefits like maternity leave, paternity leave and many more things. However, no such benefit is given here. Make a clear 5 difference answer. Definitely going to get you help. How many marks? 5 marks. Okay. Congratulations, because this is the last subjective question of SST. I'm happy to complete it. I don't know about you. What are you feeling right now? Okay. Are you happy, guys? So privatization, as I told you, basically if we talk about the definition of privatization, 3 things was done. LPG, that stands for Liberalization, privatization and globalization. So privatization means involvement of private companies in the nation, private companies for production. Now, for production. Basically, for a period of time in India, the production, okay, was regularized by government. For a long time, it was regularized, centralized by government, like what to be produced, how much to be produced, etc. But now, after 1991, when this LPG reforms were accepted, then it was liberal. What are the positives? Increased efficiency and productivity. For obvious, like you will be given a free hand, you will produce more goods so that you can have a good access to the market. Improved quality of services, reduced government burden, and negative points, no public welfare, because in privatization, the objective is to earn profit. So no public welfare will be seen. Like if you go to a hospital that is owned by a private individual, they will not see that you are rich or not. They will ask for money. Loss of employment security, yes. Like in government job, what we say, my life is set if we get the government job. But what if not? Why? Because in private, we have the chances of layoffs too. Okay. And wide gap between rich and poor, yes, this happens. It creates a wide gap between rich and poor because privates have free hand. There are two outlets of Tata Group. One is Zudio and the other is West Side. All the goods are produced in Tata Group, but huge difference between the prices. One is for the richer groups and one is for the medium group. Getting my point? So this is it. And relax, map work. So my students, we have map work for 5 marks. We have map work for 5 marks. For geography, we have 2 marks. And then for history, we have 3 marks. Okay. The question was asked in between and I asked you to write it in the book. But let's recognize in history a place where civil disobedience movement was there. So they have given you a blank space here marking the place. You need to identify it. Basically this is Dandi, okay, the place where it started. And the September 1920 session, it's in Calcutta. This is a of identification. They will mark the location. You need not to mark it. It is only for identification. But in geography, you need to locate and label. Locate and label. Okay. Let's talk about it. Airport in Tamil Nadu. Arey bhai, it's so large. I marked. I don't know why. Okay. So mark it here. Then stretch a line, right? Chennai Meenambakkam Airport. Okay. Airport in Punjab, market, right? Amritsar Raja Sansi Shri Guru Ram Das Ji Airport. Then we know a dam was asked there in Satluj River, in which both hydel projects were seen. So it's Bhakra Nangal project, and a dam built on Mahanadi River. This is in Odisha. That is known as Hirakund Dam. This is how you need to do your map work right there also, so that none of your mark is deducted by any chance. And take a deep breath, because we have solved this sample paper in the shortest time possible for your SST exams. My dear students, I really want to wish you all the best for your exam, but by the end of today's video, I need to share some important pointers to you, right? For that important pointers, you just need to pay attention, because we are somewhere at the end of our examinations, right? We are somewhere at the end of it, end of the year, not examination, and we really need to be so confident. So one important thing that you need to do is to be confident. Don't worry if you have not yet started your preparation, because still we have time, right? Calculate it. We have some days of December. I will just calculate 30 only in every month, okay? Then we have January, and again it's 30. And do you know 30 makes 60 days? Okay, I don't know about other subjects, but you have SST with 19 chapters only. I was not planning to give you strategy, but I don't know what came into my mind, and I'm sharing this with you. So we have 19 chapters. If you strategize likewise, that you do one day equals to one chapter, okay, then you will be completing SST for number 1 time. Then you give revision again 1 day, same chapter, but now the revision is faster with revision plus PYQ plus some important questions. Again in the next 19 days you completed one more revision, right? Still the days are pending. One final revision in the form of mind maps, revising all the important keywords, and this time you need to write answers, because practice is what makes you a topper. 3rd time revision. What else do you want, my bachas? It's more than enough. Last remaining days give to map books. Okay, so hope you are enjoying your preparation for class 10th and you are part of Deeksha Vedantu family. And if you are not and enjoyed the session, just need to do one thing. You need to subscribe the channel so that we both can grow together. We take the responsibility of your growth and you take the responsibility of ours. So once again, welcome to Deeksha Vedantu for a time until you not get your result, and we celebrate it all together. Okay, bye bye for today's video. We'll meet again with something very crazy for your SST preparation. Do not forget your faculty Tanvi Ma'am on the platform.